Hey everybody, in this video we're going to start talking about how to use cameras. You saw in our last video, Mevo Plus, it's got an option for a camera. You know how much I love the live view camera. So we want to help you understand better how to use a camera because I see a lot of people make mistakes. They come to me looking at their swings, or people send me their swings online and they don't pay attention to some of the details that go into it, and that can really affect if you're going to get better or if you're going to get diagnosed correctly in your swing. Hey everybody, Scott Hogan coming at you. We're here in the studio. I'm gonna get a swing up. It's actually the same golf swing, two different camera angles. We're gonna talk about what you're looking at with those. Again, I wanna help people get better. I'm getting a lot of people that I've seen post their swings online and want help, or people that have posted or sent me swings for online lessons, or people that I know that just read magazines or watch videos online of professional swinging, and then they try to compare their swings and they don't understand that where the camera angle is going to have an effect on what's going on. So we're going to go over that. I'm going to show you two swings and let you kind of see as you go. So that hopefully will help you as you're working on your game, using all this technology that's available to you, but not making sure it hurts your game as you're going along. I think that's something that's I've seen happen, is people will work on their games and then it actually hurts them. So that we want to make sure doesn't happen. Now, before we do that, we're going to go ahead and continue working with the cameras, showing you how to get better with your swings. Make sure you click that subscribe button down below so you don't miss out, and make sure you ask questions. Let us know where you're struggling with your game and what we can help you out with to make it better. So with that said, let's start getting into it. Now, before we pull the swings up, I did shoot one of these swings on a live view camera. I shot the same swing. I had the Mevo Plus running simultaneously, so I was able to capture the same swing from two different angles, which is cool from a standpoint of, it will be easy to do a front view and a down the line view, doing that. But I just wanted to be able to show the same swing and how it looks different from the camera views that we pick. Now, if I had to pick a camera, people have asked, would you still replace your live views? No, I would still go with live views. I can go over that in a separate video, why that works better. But Mevo Plus, again, as we'll talk about in the video, a great option for people that just don't want to set up a video camera or their phone or something. This is at least going to get you looking at some feedback and looking at your swings, which I love. So making that as easy as possible, I'm all for. And you'll see throughout the video, it doesn't matter what the camera angle is. You can adjust for things. It's just important to keep it consistent. So with that, let's get to the video. Let's start looking at the swings. All right, so hey everybody, Scott Hogan coming at you here. We're going to be going over just working with camera angles. So I want to give you that introduction to how camera angles are super important. So I mentioned in my previous video, I was really excited for the FlightScope Mevo Plus, being able to use that camera, because one of the main reasons is when people are practicing, they're actually going to put the camera in the same place all the time, because if you're setting your unit up properly on the target line, you're going to be able to get a better, just have a more consistent look. If you have the camera in different places all the time, you're going to run into issues throughout your swing. So we're here, we're on the screen. I might walk up there and point some stuff out, but you should be able to hopefully see it. On the left-hand side, I have a swing. So both of these are the exact same shot. Okay, I had my live view golf camera running and the FlightScope Mevo Plus camera running at the same time. And what we want to talk about is, again, what are some of the differences you need to look for if you're going to be going from a different camera angle? I think that's really important, and I always get worried when people start looking at video that they're not going to recognize camera angle with the video. That's the first thing I'm going to look at when I see a swing video. If I see a telestration on a broadcast on TV, is I'm going to look at where this video is taken from. So on the left, one of the good things about the live view is you do have a little bit of freedom to get the camera where you want. So for me, I'm a big fan of having the camera at hand height and on pretty much right in line with the hands. That's just where I've kept it. That's where I like to see the swing from, and I feel like that's where you're going to get majority of swings taken from. And usually, you're looking at somebody their hands typically are in the same place most of the time when you're looking at a swing. So being on the run and gun, when I'm doing lessons out there shooting, and I film my lessons with iPads and do the analysis right there when I'm on the go, that's going to be what I use most of the time. You can see obviously on the right side, the Mevo Plus is down at the ground level. So here we have kind of a basic drawing. Let's just talk a little basics about what you're going to see with if you're going to start using video. So with the camera on the left, I've got both of these golf clubs. I've drawn a line right through where the hosel of the club starts, through the shaft and up through my body. Okay, and you can see pretty much similar. It's going to intersect my body similar places, but as we start going through, this is our basic line that you see most people use when they're drawing. And let's start looking at how things can get affected when you're off camera a little bit. So what's some things that you need to be looking for? So same swing, I'm going to start this club back. And you're going to see that takeaway, my hands go pretty much right along the green line there, and the club is just a fraction outside of it, which I personally like, but that's for your own personal preference in your swing. That I like, and what we see is it's pretty much tracing that green line. I'm going to take the Mevo Plus, and what you're going to see is, again, you're going to see a club, and I'm going to highlight some things because it's a little blurry. So here's the club head right in there, okay? And you're going to see that my hands appear to be more inside in that takeaway. And that's generally going to be what you see when you have a camera that is more out towards the ball line, like the Mevo Plus is, compared to a camera that's more in on your hands. It's going to appear that I'm taking the club back more inside on the ball line camera, on the right-hand side. So I have to be careful with that because a lot of people will say, oh, well, that takeaway, you know, maybe you're starting to get a little inside with that takeaway, you know, something that people really kind of fear as they go. When you look at it on the left-hand side with the different camera angle, you're going to see that I am not inside at all with my takeaway. If anything, it might be a little bit too vertical. And you can see at this point in the swing, I'm going to highlight the golf shaft again. There's the shaft on the right. In case you can't see it, let me do this. Let's trace them. You can see the two golf shafts, very similar positions in the swing, and you can see where on the right-hand side, the shaft is going through my lower bicep, almost my right elbow, and on the left-hand side, you can see, I'm going to walk up here, you can see the shaft going through more the middle of my bicep, and it's just on a whole different path as it's going through that swing. So I would be attacking these two issues completely different if I wasn't knowing what to look for. We'll take it up to the top of the swing, again, same exact swings, where it starts to look, it actually looks a little bit long. Notice how on the right-hand side, let's clear some lines. The right-hand side, it looks like my golf club is pointing straight at the target. You're gonna, let me highlight those. You're gonna be able to see that right in through here. And on this side, there is my golf club. On the left-hand side, you can see the head. It actually looks more of a laid-off position, okay? And again, you can see on the right-hand side as well, my arm, my lead arm looks a little flatter, and it starts to go a little bit more vertical on the left-hand side. So people always say, okay, well, what does that matter as you're going through? Well, it starts having you think about what you're going to correct. Now we're going to keep going down. Club comes down. It looks like I really shallow the club out. Get the club coming down. Looks like that golf club. I'm going to trace it for you because it's getting a little blurry. The one thing I will say is with the Mevo Plus, a little bit less frames on that one than we get here, but here we go. So you can see a little bit different. I've got a little bit of space in between my right arm and the club on the left-hand side. The right side, it looks a little bit flatter. So that's what you'll see. Things are going to look a little flatter when you have the club more out towards the ball line. So you might say, oh, hey, I'm not doing something. I might be early extending, or I might be dropping the club too far to the inside. compared to other players. Well, or you might think you're doing it really well, or you're doing an okay job. That's probably more what's going to happen, is you probably have the club coming down too steep or too over the top, but because the camera angle, it's going to look like it's in a decent spot, where that's where you're going to run into some issues. And then we'll continue through to the finish. Finishes will look a little different, but pretty much the same at this point. So that's where we start wondering about our golf swings as we go. You have to be careful. Now, again, it doesn't matter what camera angle you use. The whole point of this is I want you to see what the different camera angle, what difference does that make when you're starting to look at your swing. Don't go, if you're going to start using Mevo Plus camera angles, don't look at that camera angle, then go look at somebody else's video or swing tip in a magazine that's shot from a completely different angle and try to copy that 100%. You're going to run into issues and have some problems. So that's what we want to try to avoid, helping you out with cameras. Again, we're going to start trying to show you how I look at swings. Now, for me, I could use either of these. I'm very comfortable looking at each swing and having a feel for what it should look like from each position. That comes through practice. So I think I could do it, but be careful as you're going. And again, we're trying to teach you about cameras because I want you to be careful. Cameras can be dangerous working on your swing if you're not sure what you're looking for. All right, so there we go. We had the swings up. That was what they look like. You can see as you move more out towards the ball line, things are going to appear flatter and more around you. As you move closer to the body, things are going to appear more vertical, swings working more up. So you just have to pay attention to that. Again, where I see this is with this whole laying down the club craze. I will see people trying to shallow out the golf club, and they'll be looking at a swing that's maybe, on TV, it's even beyond the ball line. It's so far outside because they can't get a good camera angle, and they'll use that as their reference, and they'll say, oh, look at how flat and how shallow they get there. And it's, they're not there because the camera angle's off. So just keep that in mind as you're working through your swings. Hopefully this will get you to start paying attention. All right, where is this swing from? How does that compare to the angle that I've shot? What adjustments do I need to make? So again, goal is to help you learn a little bit more about how to film your swing, how to do this on your own, and how to shoot better video that can help your game get better. And at the end of the day, provide feedback, which if your goal is to get better, that's what we really want to be able to do, is have some good feedback. So if you need more questions answered about video, let me know down in the comments below. And as always, click that subscribe button. We're going to have more talking about how to improve your game. We'll get into that in the next coming videos. Thanks everybody for watching. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace.